Welcome everybody. It is Business Monday. This is the Small Biz Fuel segment. I'm Josh Fenton, CEO of GoLocal. This is Tim Sullivan. He is the acting general manager of Urban Greens, the new community supermarket. Do we call it a supermarket?
You could. It's a full line. It's a full line grocery store. It's actually called a co-op market, but
market.
It's a grocery store.
And your fancy food talk over there up on Cranston Street.
Yeah.
It's over in Cranston Street, located where Loudet Laundry was historically there for decades and decades. It was a brownfield. That building was torn down. The space was rehabbed, and we're now looking at a new market in a emerging neighborhood.
Yeah. It's on 93 Cranston. There's a place going up behind us as well.
Great.
It's right across from all the high schools, and so you know where the high schools are. You know where the
Yeah, you got 3 high schools over there.
Yeah, Urban Greens.
You're acting. You've done this before around the country. You're from, you're telling me earlier, from West Iowa. West Iowa to Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
A little bit of difference. We have less cornfields here.
Yeah, it's awesome to come here. I went to the local farmers market my first weekend, and they were selling fresh seafood, right? In the farmers market. We don't get that in Iowa.
You do not get that in Iowa.
No.
There is no lobsters for sale in West Iowa.
So I'm real happy to be here. I love it.
Soybeans, we're a little further behind.
Yeah.
Talk about the vision for the market. What's the goal of the impetus of it has been around for as long as it was a membership club for as long back as 10 years, right?
Yeah, back, longer than that. 2007, there was a group, maybe before that, 2001, group of 40 people had a buying club because they wanted to buy food that they couldn't find anywhere else. So they had a buying club, and I think for a short time they actually had a storefront, a small place where they were selling food. And so they've been working on this for a long time.
Yeah, that's great.
Dedicated volunteers since at least 2007. They've been working on it. I think in 2007 is when they actually incorporated the food co-op. So it's been, what is that, 12 years they've been working on it? I mean, it's really hard to open a grocery store.
Yeah,
especially when you are trying to open a community grocery store like this. And a co-op is owned by, in this case, a co-op's owned by our customers. Our customers own us, but everybody's welcome there. Anybody can shop there. We'd love everybody to be members, but everybody's welcome. It's a neighborhood grocery store, really, full-line grocery store.
Supermarkets have always been a tough business. It's always built on mass sales, low margins. Doesn't matter if you were Stop and Shop or old A&P or Almax or anyone else. The challenge is to get a large number of customers in and out the door. How do you compete? Besides coming on GoLocal Live and build up the name recognition, but how do you compete?
You mean that's not going to be enough? Come on, GoLocal Live.
It'll start the engines.
All right. Well, I think for one thing, co-ops are different. Mm-hmm. You know, most grocery stores are big corporations and they're profit-based.
Right.
With all the money leaving the community, not all the money, but you know how it works.
The majority of it, yep, sure.
How it works. And there's nothing more local than a food co-op, right? Because it's owned by our customers who all live here. And those customers actually elect the board of directors that hire the general manager. And they create the vision for the food co-op, the direction it's going to go. So that's one of the very first things. It's extremely local. It's locally run. It's democratic. Everybody's welcome. They're very inclusive, and it's going to offer some unique things. I mean, for the neighborhood, for one thing, it's what we call a food apartheid area now, food desert.
Yeah.
So it's going to be great for the community there because it's going to have a full line of produce, meat department, great food service, frozen dairy. So it's going to be a full grocery store that can serve that neighborhood. But it's also going to serve organic and natural foods, which most co-ops do a lot of that sort of thing. And so that will be different and unique compared to a lot of places. And we'll do our very best to have the very best prices. I mean, we're always going to be looking at how we can give value to our customers. For example, we're going to have what we call a Urban Greens Basic line, which is staple items that are lower priced. And we're also looking for programs to reach out to the community to help make the food more accessible as far as price goes. That's called the Food for All program. So there's a lot of details around that, but that should be a great program for the local neighborhood and for people that want to access healthy food.
When do you see it opening? I know it's been a couple of years in development, a complex site, new construction. None of those things are easy.
Right.
When do you see opening day? When will the first tomato be tossed?
Pretty soon. It's been a challenge. There's been several things that have caused delays along the way, and it's always
I think all of us entrepreneurs understand that.
Yeah.
We're going to do this on this day. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, right. You find something out that you didn't know about, and that puts it off. But anyway, I can't announce a specific date.
Yeah.
I think our owners, we right now we have between 1,200 and 1,300 owners already, and we'll make an announcement to them yet this week. But we'll be open before the 4th of July.
That's great. Talk a little bit. You've got, excuse me, you have more experience than probably anyone else in Rhode Island in this type of business model. You've worked and helped open this style of grocery store in multiple locations. What will make this successful based on your experience?
Well, the community, right? Every place you go, if the community appreciates the store and what the store has to offer, then it will be successful. That's what it's all about. If the community really loves the co-op, and of course the co-op has to do all the things that they need to do. They need to provide value. They need to provide great service. They need to provide unique. Like for example, one of the missions is to support the local food structure.
Right.
So we're really into trying to carry as much local products as we possibly can. And I think, especially in this part of the country, people really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So I think all of those things that make a food co-op unique are the things that can make it successful. But ultimately, it will be our owners and our customers to decide, the community.
How far away are people willing to come? And I don't want the Iowa version, right? Because if you go to the corner store, it's 73 miles, right? But let's go to the Rhode Island model where people complain if they have to go 3 miles. Can that Cranston Street location draw people from the east side of Providence or Federal Hill or all over Providence? Is that realistic to expect?
I think it depends on who the customer is and what their priorities are.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it's got to be a bit of a mission, right?
Yeah.
For the consumers, got to say this is important for our community. I'm going to drive by Whole Foods and go to Urban Greens.
Yeah. So you mentioned their name. So
the evil empire, is that what's also known
well,
as?
now that Amazon's involved, some people are saying that probably. But yeah, there's a lot of people that would prefer to give their food dollars to local entity and know that local entity is, almost 100% of the dollars are staying here.
Right.
I mean, we buy some groceries from the conventional other places, but so there's a lot of sentiment out there right now. I think that they like to support somebody local.
Yeah. The other big thing that's happening in the food industry is obviously, first, Amazon with Prime, and then their purchase of Whole Foods. Secondly, the response by Walmart of 1 day, 2 day delivery for same day delivery for groceries. It's making the entire marketplace much more complex. Can Urban compete with that, or almost anti-compete with that, and have a greater value?
Yeah, I think it's hard to say over the long haul what they might do, what Urban Greens might do with delivery and things of that nature. I think there's a lot to be said for experience in the store. I know some people don't have time always.
Yeah.
But I think there's, we're a small store, and so we don't need to capture the whole market. We need to capture the people from the community that it's convenient for, and also for the community that really appreciate our mission and the food we offer, and healthy food and local food, and local. I mean,
Yeah.
really, really local.
You're going to have produce, you're going to have meat and cheese, you're going to have...
Food service. We're going to have a
yeah.
great food service department.
Yeah. What won't you have? If I go into Super Stop and Shop, I can buy a beach chair, I can buy New York Times bestseller, I can buy...
we won't have we won't try to offer everything. We won't be the super Walmart store where you can buy everything in the whole world there. But what we will offer
Wiffle balls? Wiffle bats?
No.
No wiffle balls and wiffle bats?
No. But what we will offer is a community room
Yeah.
with classes on healthy cooking, space for the community members to meet.
Visiting chefs, that sort of thing?
Yeah, we're about community.
Right.
I mean, we're part of that community, and that's what we want to be. We want to be inclusive. We want to have access. I was just yesterday talking about being inclusive, and I was doing one of our first orientations. We're finishing up on our hiring, and I looked around the room, and that was a diverse group. I asked how many different languages we spoke, and there was quite a few different languages. Didn't look like Western Iowa, I'll tell you like that. But anyway, it was awesome. It was awesome to see all those young people of all the different diversities, and that's who we're serving.
How long have you been in Rhode Island?
About a month.
About a month. I teased Tim before we came on that I was going to challenge him to spell Quanakatog and some of the other more unique Rhode Island names. He passed on all of those things. What do you like about Rhode Island?
I love the seafood, for
Yeah.
one thing. I love, whether your weather is maybe not as good as you normally like, but like today, it's beautiful. I love the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome here.
That's great. Tim Sullivan, thank you so much for coming in. Congratulations. We look forward to hearing the announcement about the opening of Urban Greens up on 93 Cranston Street. A real transformation of that area and the idea of a locally owned food co-op grocery store that's going to help transform that neighborhood and really bring back local buying, local food into the community. Have a great opening, and thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for
I'll be
having
back
me.
at 4 o'clock with Gary Sass, the money man from the Hassenfeld Institute at Bryant University. We're going to be talking about everything financial, new rankings for the state of Rhode Island out today, big things happening up at the State House on education reform and some insights into the budget, and we'll also check in on what's going on in Washington, D.C. We'll see you back at 4 o'clock. Thanks so much.